Hey, this is James Campion, the author of Shout It Out Loud, the story of Kiss's Destroyer and the making of an American icon, and you are listening to my buddies Tom and Zeus and the Shout It Out Loudcast. Rock on, boys.
Oh, boy. Here we go. This is Gene Simmons.
Put that cookie down.
Kiss.
Stop pressing the button.
Stockbroker Simmons.
Star?
Paul Stanley.
Is that what he does? Stop shouting.
My name is Ace Riley.
He's not what you would call a handsome man.
Oh, no. Here come the kiss times. Is that a positive thing? Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna grab me an ice cold mellow yellow.
Why? Why do that to the fan? Stop it. Why? Because fuck them.
That's what are you talking about? 617-525-0850. You do? Hey, fucko. Do you like Kiss? Settle down.
Hello. What's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus, another episode of Shout Out Loudcast. Episode 173. May the 4th be with you. Tom, how are you?
Zeus checking in from the COVID Center of New England. What's up, buddy? After 2+ years, you finally succumbed to it.
I got COVID. That motherfucker Casada.
Motherfucking COVID. That's it.
I think that's where I got it. I went to that concert on Saturday night, and then yesterday I'm in court, and I'm like, what the fuck?
You either got it from Casada or you got it from just going into Worcester.
Yeah. Worcester, the whole city smells of weed. It reminds me of that awesome Jamie Foxx stand-up. Remember that one? He's like,
oh, yeah.
And when I went to Africa, they don't got like regular AIDS. They got like instant AIDS. You're on top of somebody go, what the fuck? Am I losing weight? Well, that other guy that's like, I'm talking about real AIDS, not that Magic Johnson AIDS where you get fat.
Jamie Foxx.
Oh, my God. Fucking the best.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm surviving. Today, it was this morning. I tested positive. I was going to go to the Bruins last game. I was all pumped up and fuck, motherfucker, you dirty rotten rat bastard.
Yep.
But no matter what, we had to get everything pushed aside. You had to leave work. Hopefully no one's listening at your job.
Nobody's listening. I don't tell anybody.
Who's that mysterious guy in Cell Block 2? Domino, motherfucker. Kiss Podcast 2022.
Bitch.
Yeah, and everything had to get rearranged. No matter what, rain, COVID, snow, sleet, this podcast has to get done.
That's right. 4 years, about whatever it is, and haven't missed an episode. Oh, God.
These last 4 years of madness set me straight.
My attendance for this podcast is better than my attendance for work.
Yes, there's nothing else. It's yoga, going to my coaching my youth hockey team, work, trial. Fuck it, I can miss it. The podcast. Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you crazy? That's insane. We can't miss an episode.
Exactly. So, Tom, we always go backwards. So we did an episode last week, which before we get into this, we need to kind of go off a little bit here on get off the beaten path a little bit and talk about this episode from last week. Now, we've been doing this for how long?
3-4 years.
It's our 4th year, right?
Yeah.
So we've had episodes that we know are always going to be big hitters. Like we open our years out, we do an album review. We know that's going to be a big hit. Eddie Trunk, those 2 episodes, always big. The episode 100, Kulik and Chris Jericho, always big. So we have certain albums that we know and certain episodes are going to be fucking top of the charts for us.
Wow.
Then we find an episode to talk about Paul Stanley. And Carmine Appice's mustache girlfriend. And it's the number one episode we've ever had in not even 7 days, in 5 days. It's blown everything away.
It literally like defies logic. Like the episode is, as of this recording, it's 5 days old. It is the most downloaded episode we've ever had. It's insane. It is insane.
And it's not one of those, oh, Chris retweeted and he's got 3 million followers.
No.
There's nothing like that. Who the fuck retweeted this? Like I said, Carmine Appice's mustache?
Exactly.
This just fucking is taken off. It's incredible.
Yep.
The number one downloaded episode in like 5 days.
It's insane. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Yep. So we're really excited. And as always, we owe it to you guys. Again,
absolutely.
Nobody big shot retweeted this. This is you guys talking about it, commenting on it, putting it on social media. It's you guys that are really pushing us higher and higher. And that's why we get to say it. We don't say it all the time, but we get to say it. And it's true because it's factual. The number one Kiss podcast this week even proved it even more. It's a fact. So these two idiots right here from Boston have got the number one Kiss podcast, and we're in season 4.
Wait, there's 2 idiots from Boston? Where's the other? Murph's not on. But you're right. No, and it's funny you bring that up as a segue to thank all the listeners. Is, we always talk about comments and stuff, but the people that share it and retweet it and keep the discussion going and comment, like, an episode like this, we had fun with it. We knew you guys would have fun with it, but to think that in literally less than 1 week, I mean, by the time you hear it, it might be a week, but it's stunning what you guys have done. And we can't thank you enough. You guys are the best. You are the number one Kiss podcast fans for the number one Kiss podcast. Put it that way.
Yes. And the other part to this is we had our beer social on Patreon, and we'll get to that stuff.
Oh, yes, we will.
And amongst the thing that we talked about with a lot of the guys, and we'll get into more detail when we talk about Patreon later, is that you guys really like the feedback and that you feel you're part of the show. Well, this is you guys. So the fact that we're saying the number one Kiss podcast, this is because of you guys. I'm certainly not downloading all these fucking things on going around every neighbor I know. Hey, give me your phone. Download 200 episodes and shout out Loudcast.
Yep.
It's you guys doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that you guys get our sick, warped sense of fucking humor. And you like Kiss. Do you like Kiss, Tom?
The people, the people like our buddy Jim Riley, speaking of Patreon, going to see Ace, taking a picture of himself wearing a Shout Out Loudcast shirt, holding a Filet-O-Fish box. I mean, what other fandom can claim that? It's amazing. We love those guys, especially we love Jim's one of the best. I mean, he's always been one of the best. Yeah. But it's that kind of stuff. It's a community. It's literally like the Whack Pack on Stern.
Yes, it is. And I think at some point we're going to have to fucking cut the group down because it's getting fucking too big. It's like too many of you guys, and there's like too many segments, and there's too many theme songs, and there's too much fucking editing.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
The other part I like, Tom, is when people are like, what the fuck is Fountain Cola? When our fans and our listeners get in on the Kiss topic, say like, what the fuck is why is Ace need a couple slices?
Yeah, what does that mean? A slice of what? Like that, and then they're like, you got to listen and learn.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, anyway, let's go back to this epic, historic episode and talk about the pretty simple and easy poll, right?
Yeah. So it was, Paul Stanley versus the radio chick, Leslie Gold. We had a little fun with this one. We want to know who you think was right, quote unquote, during the interview. Was it Paul? Was it the radio chick? Was it neither? Or was it Carmine's mustache? 49% of the vote said Paul was right.
Woohoo!
25% said that neither was right. Carmine's mustache got more votes than the radio chick.
How much did Carmine's mustache get?
19% of the votes. Radio chick herself, 7%.
God bless Carmine. I just remember getting Circus Magazine, and there'd always be a column that he would write about drummers. I'd be like, dude, who is this fucking buffoon with a mustache and all these things? And he, because in that era now, we're in the 80s and hair metal and all that stuff. Like, why is this guy, like, nobody had mustaches.
No.
Him and Tony Iommi are the only mustache guys.
And Raleigh Fingers. That's about it.
Oh, and Bill Barker. No, Len Barker.
Oh, Len Barker.
Come on, Murph will know him.
Yeah, I mean, everybody had a really good time with it. I mean, it was a fun episode. We sure as shit had fun kind of breaking down and psychoanalyzing Paul. Of course, that's always a good time. So a couple quick comments. Let's see. Our buddy Kevin Northern commented with the picture of Paul smiling next to Ross in his teeth from Friends.
I love that.
That never gets old. Our good buddy Steve, longtime fan. This is why you fuckos are the best. You always bring such a varied array of subjects. I have never heard of this before. Thank you so much for this great one. Let's see. Uncle Paulie. Oh, snap. I think this episode just created another character from the show. Give it up for Stuart Stanley. And he posts the gif of Stuart Smalley. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And doggone it, people like me. And then Daryl Alber. Oh, my goodness. Stepping up to the plate with some expert photoshopping. He says, Tom's diagnosis is in. He takes the movie poster from American Psycho and puts Paul's face where Christian Bale's face is. I didn't call him a psycho. I called him a sociopath. Two big differences. Look it up. Let's see. Our buddy Wally Vidal Cabeza de Gato. We'll get to him later. Great episode, guys. The Twitter commentary at the end cracked me up when Zeus said, raise your hand if you like indoor plumbing. Oh, my goodness. Geez. It was so good. Oh, SV Puga chimes in and says, this chick looks like Nina Hartley.
Oh,
talking about the radio chick, Leslie Gold. Ooh.
Yeah, Nina Hartley probably was decent younger, but any porn of Nina Hartley's, all of her like looking like a grandmother.
Oh,
like,
it's
like strap on, like banging other fat chicks.
That's not
like
good.
Old fat chicks.
Yeah, that's like ugly gilf porn.
Yeah,
nobody likes that. I mean, I know Sonny likes the gilf porn, but
yeah, like violently banging strap on old fucking
Dr. Van Halen MD. I am not even a Paul guy, and I almost think he went easy on her. An utterly unprofessional and disrespectful interview. Does she go home and tell Carmine that King Cobra should be in the Hall of Fame? Baseball and death. Great interview. I love Paul's smug answers myself, but the best part was Tom and Zeus in the outtakes in the end. I hate that this is 50 shit so much. This is 50. Look at my picture. And then our buddy Nige.
I got a wonderful muffin ass.
Nige said, raise your hand if you like indoor plumbing. A lot of people like that one. Oh, our buddy Scott. I'm about 100 episodes in. I find out Tom was president of the French Club, and now he's a trained psychologist. What other secrets are you harboring? I'm not a trained psychologist, but you should see when I put on both hats and I do my psychology in French. Ooh, wee wee. Mark Frazier. I just listened to the interview. Paul blistered her ass. Looking forward to listening to this podcast. Yeah, so a lot of people had a lot of fun with it. That's what we got going on Twitter.
Over on the Book of Face, Tom, we'll get through some of these. Chris Lathrop, you know who he is.
Chris L, Pot of Thunder. We love Chris.
Forget the haters. You won. Dude, we get so much like DMs and shit about like that other podcast out there. Yeah, and again, like we have nothing personally. We don't even know them. We don't know them. What am I saying?
We don't know. We don't know them at all.
We just, I love doing impressions, and that's all. That's all that's about.
Yep.
Fucking A. and if you see the watermark on the post, then it's authenticated.
It's for your enjoyment.
Yeah. Well, I get a meatball grinder.
I could sell you a special poster. It's got a little Parmesan sauce on the side there. Chicken palm.
I met up with Eric and we got a poster from the Revenge Era tour.
What are we doing?
Kevin Jepson, I still can't believe how vicious Paul was. I think Tom said, silent assassin.
Yep.
Indeed. Over on Loudcasters, Brian Foudy. Fantastic episode, guys. I couldn't agree more with Tom about his assessment. Paul is my least favorite member because of his personal traits. I bet it's exhausting being in a relationship with him. Not only does he and his sister look similar, they're both mentally similar too, just more manic. Yikes. Stevie Flythe, Final Score 2. We love Stevie and his podcast on the Flythe. Glad you guys pick up on Paul saying what I want, what I'm not wanting. So obvious. He's making all the decisions. Kelly Jem Blair, outstanding episode. Enjoyed immensely. Would love to get Tom's assessment on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial. Seriously, both interesting and funny beyond words. I understand that the Radio Chicks Winnebago on the lake is positioned right next to the storage shed for Chris and Cusano landscaping.
By the way, Amber Heard is a psycho, and I kind of feel bad for Johnny Depp in that whole case.
Dude, she took a shit on his bed.
Yeah, she's fucking whacked. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too keen about women in shitting.
Ooh.
Yeah, I remembered. You remember the shows on VH1?
I liked how you said you're not too keen on women and shit.
I'm
like
not keen at all.
Not like it's repulsive. You're just like, I'm not too keen on that. Like you kind of like it.
Frankly, I'm not too fond of this next thing.
Exactly.
The girl's gonna take a shit on the bed. I remembered when the first time I watched those 90s VH1 kind of shit, and Jericho was on, and he was talking about that famous photo. I'm like, oh my God, they have wrestlers on. That's when Chris was starting to kind of get out there.
Yeah.
And he was talking about what's the chick from MTV, Jenny McCarthy, in that clip of her on the toilet, and he's like, what the fuck was that? Do you remember that?
Yes, that was so disappointing because I loved Jenny McCarthy. And then she went crazy.
Yeah, and like, what are you doing? Like doing a photo of like you taking a shit.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah. And then I remember I was telling you the other day about Bill Maher's show, the podcast. So his first episode, he has William Shatner on there.
Okay.
They're bringing it up. It's like, yeah, that's the place I won't go. Shit and sex. You know, you're on your period. That's fine.
Oh, Jesus.
And then they were telling the story about Ava Gardner. You know, Ava Gardner is the legendary siren goddess.
Gorgeous. Oh, yeah.
Married Frank Sinatra.
Yep.
He was telling the story that sometimes she'd get drunk in the middle of a hotel, like all glammed up. She would just sit in the middle of the lobby and take a shit.
How did we get into this, by the way? I'm trying to figure out how we curved into
the fucking story. I'm like, what kind of a surreal story is, like, you know, Ava Gardner. Now, are you ever going to think of her the same?
No, thanks for ruining that.
Yeah. Her hiking up her ballroom gown from the Oscars and taking a shit on the floor.
Just squatting on some gold-plated coffee table in the freaking lobby of some 5-star luxury hotel.
Where did that room? He goes, and fucking Shatner's telling this story. He's like, well, you know that she used to do that. But he's like, what?
Why do you know that?
Women in shitting should never be, like, if I want to like not be attracted to somebody, I just picture her taking a shit. Like, no.
This is what you uncover when you listen to this show.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, anyways, back to music talk.
Yeah. Well, so far, if anybody's still listening, we just covered women shitting and gilf porn. So thank you for tuning in. If you're a new listener, we will get to Kiss talk soon.
Yes. Justin Steele. Interesting episode. It's obvious that Paul has no idea where the high road is. Nice. He is just so sensitive. At the Short Hills art showing around this time, he refused to sign an album. He said he was only signing artwork if you brought it. What a douche.
Wow.
The Bill O'Reilly rant at the end was gold. And that's the memo.
Back of the book segment.
He would have Martha McCallum or Lori Dew on that fucking quiz thing he would do at the end.
Yep.
And then you would like have a smoke show. And then you have like Steve Ducey on the other, and he would be an asshole to Ducey. Remember, like, oh, come on, Ducey.
He called everybody by their last name. Come on, Ducey.
And the poor guy would always win, and the hot chicks, he'd be like, oh, well, hold on, give her a chance, Ducey.
Give her a chance. Let her take her top off. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah. In the back, Weekends with Bernie and Jane. Remember that poor lady? Remember that poor lady that would get fucking abused by him?
Brutalized.
Poor Bernie would be like, oh, Jesus Christ, Bill, fucking calm down on this poor lady.
Stop.
Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. It's the COVID.
It's the COVID. Over. You got COVID brain. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. So I apologize, guys. Anyways, our buddy Joe Decker.
All right. Yeah, I have Fusion Tech.
I have no words. Tom, you are absolutely correct in your assessment. Holy shit. Now let's move over to YouTube.
Uh-oh.
YouTube. Here we go. Mark Stewart. Oh, my God. Tom, when you suggested that Paul was a sociopath,
yeah,
he wrote it as social path, 2 words.
That too.
Okay. However you pronounce it, I was laughing so hard that I had to rewind the show twice. I kept missing the reason you felt this way due to the laughter. You guys had me rolling. Thanks, guys, for another Saturday filled with laughter.
Awesome.
Mark, you're the best. Thank
That's
you, buddy.
Great. Yep.
Yeah. And then Brad Beard said, if you remember Peter's book, he said, Paul can cut your throat and you won't even know until he's out of the room.
That is such a great line. Yep. I remember that.
Yeah. John B. Good. Love your breakdown on this classic train wreck interview. I have to side with Paul on this one because she opens the interview with a negative comment about how she feels that his band doesn't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I do, however, believe that no matter how unbothered Paul seems during the interview, it definitely was a topic for at least 2 of his own therapy sessions.
Yep.
Marty White. I remember that interview. It was a tough day at the station, I know, because I had a side job as an engineer on the program.
Oh, God.
We were so pissed at Radio Chick for attacks on Paul. As it turned out, there was tension before the show. Radio Chick was especially bitter because Paul hadn't paid Carmine royalties for his work on his 78 album in many years. She was tired of slumming it in a Winnebago while Paul lived in a mansion he could tear down willy-nilly. Carmine spent the last of their money buying a piece of Paul's carpet that he intended to sell to a meatball sub-loving collector for double what he paid for it. The trouble was Carmine forgot to make the sale, so Carmine had to borrow some of Vinny's box set money. But there was none left since Vinny had already spent it on pantsuits and Tupperware for his dogs. And now you also know why Vinny never came through with the second box set he promised in Atlanta a few years back. The money just went there.
Wow.
Mr. Antonio 2005. Leslie the Radio Chick reminds me of the character Spider from the movie Goodfellas, who spoke up to defend himself. And then we all know how that ended. Now I got to go get the papers.
I love that.
Our buddy Montreal Voots. Kudos, guys. Another Shout It Out Loudcast deep cut into Paul's psyche. It seems Leslie Chick underestimated Paul's ability to handle her insults with a calm, precise, and persistent counterfire that once triggered was intended to inflict massive damage. Tom said it right via cold assassin. Then again, maybe she thought that Carmine represented the typical rocker. Wondered if she tried to see if he could find a way out of the room even after some banging. Still hard to believe that Paul didn't know what was likely to occur during the interview, considering her background and reputation. Perhaps he knew that this would easily create some publicity for his art masterpieces, and he just readied himself to rip into her. Excellent show.
Nice.
Tom, over to you, buddy.
All right, let's blow through a couple of emails here. Our buddy Mike H., who we met on our Patreon.
We met a bunch of them for the first time.
Oh, yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But he sends a nice email here. The title of it is Radio Dick. And he has 4 bullet points. Number 1, the reason more of the paintings on the cruise were less abstract and more band members or real life is Paul knowing the audience. Paintings of KISS members would have a higher chance of selling than a painting of a smeared orange ball. Just my opinion. Number 2, lakefront Winnebagos aren't cheap. Not sure what Paul's goal was there. Number 3, dude needs therapy in a big way. Number 4, he loves to tell people he has never seen Family Jewels. That is a great point. He loves to pretend that he knows nothing about Gene's offstage life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not jealous. I've never even seen it.
Yeah,
Why would I care to see it?
Never saw that show before.
I know what he's like.
Our buddy Craig Moran sends us a great, nice, long email here. Great episode as always. Having always listened to New York City rock radio, I am surprised I missed this. Pure radio gold. Normally, I would totally bag on Paul for his behavior. However, she totally deserved it. Cool and calculated throughout the entire interview. I might be off on my timeline because I don't know if he's had more than one showing at that gallery in Short Hills, New Jersey, but there's a good chance this interview was a day or two before the meeting Eddie Trunk talks about where his relationship with Paul ended. If so, between that New Jersey gallery viewing and this interview, what a curious moment in time this must have been for Paul. And then he goes on and talks about some of the song selections and stuff like that, some other stuff. We love hearing from Craig. Then he says, thanks for the entertainment. Have a great week. Thank you, Craig. You are the man. Let's see. Daniel LeBlanc chimes in here. Love your interview breakdowns. I had never heard this one, so thanks for including the interview portion along with your analysis. The Twitter bit at the end was hilarious. Raise your hand if you like indoor plumbing.
Like
Zeus got a lot of kudos for that one. Thanks for the work involved in putting out the Best Kiss podcast. Saturdays are the one day I enjoy waking up early to see what you guys have in store. Take care and all that. Daniel LeBlanc. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. And we got a nice Facebook DM. We love seeing these. This is from Craig Gardner on Facebook. New to your pod. Fucking awesome. Love the Stanley roasts. I bought Alive in 75 when I was 12. Anyway, I'm old as dirt. Saw them on the Rock and Roll Over tour for the first time in Syracuse. I'm a true Kiss nerd and love your cast. Keep it going. Yeah, Craig Gardner. Those are some of our favorite messages.
Yep.
Thank you. We finish up feedback with an email from Brian Peterkin. Hey, Tom and Zeus. I've been a frequent listener, but this is my first time writing an email to you guys. I really do enjoy all the great ideas for episodes, such as interviews and new ideas on each Kiss March Madness. I have to say, I really do admire how both of you are straight shooters, no BS, especially in regards to the members of our favorite band. In episode 172, which I never heard the interview before, so thank you, you could tell Paul was short in his responses with the radio chick. I always like how quick-witted Paul is, and this interview was no exception. The silent assassin that Mr. Stanley referred to by Tom was in full defensive mode. She definitely deserved all the comments Paul threw her way. It really wasn't the greatest way to begin an interview, but man, was it funny. I also have to comment on how much I enjoyed episode 171 with Jericho and PJ Farley. It was literally like me sitting around with my buddies drinking beer and discussing all things Kiss. Brought back memories, and I sure miss those days. Thank you, Tom and Zeus, for putting together such a great show. I look forward to future episodes. Brian Peterkin. Brian, fantastic email. We love hearing from guys writing to us for the first time. Thank you for that, Brian. And you are our comment of the week.
Woohoo! Yeah. Awesome job, Brian. Thank you. Tom, what we do next is we go and give a tip of the hat to our buddies at Patreon. Patreon is where people can join and get some trinkets, some souvenirs, novelties, and party tricks from us. And with that, they support the show. There's a couple different tiers on how to support the show, and that money goes to us doing bigger and better things with this show. And it's been a huge help since we started Patreon last year. You guys have been amazing. This week, we have a new Patreon member that we want to tip the hat to, and it's Vidal Espinoza. He joins us as another Demon Tier member. Woo! Thank you, Vidal. It's much appreciated. Welcome to the family of our Patreon members. And we can't thank you and everyone involved in Patreon enough. It's been a great, great success, and we really appreciate all your support. And if you're interested in Patreon, you can find it on our brand new website, the link there, or you can also find it at patreon.com or the app Patreon. Just look under creators, shout it out Loudcast, and you'll find us. So thank you, Patreon family.
Yes, and Vidal Espinoza, that is our friend on Twitter who took a selfie of him with his face painted as Ace with the fillet of fish box. So he gets the show. And we love that. And we love the fact that you just signed up on Patreon, Demon Tier. Can't thank you enough. And thank you to all of our amazing Patreon members. You guys are the best. What a blast we're having right now. As we speak, we are in the middle of compiling all of the Patreon ARC picks. I'm going to tell you right now, me personally speaking, some absolutely spectacular picks. It's going to be tough to narrow this down for the poll that we're going to be sending out shortly. So keep those picks coming. We're missing a few. Get them in. Some of the selections so far are really, really great, according in my opinion. And Zeus hinted at it earlier at the beginning of the episode. Last week, we had our Demon Tier little beer social. And my goodness, was that an unbelievable blast. We had a bunch of guys on there talking about Kiss, talking about the show, talking about our favorite bands, our music, people drinking, people pulling out guitars, playing music,
pulling out blunts,
people starting the Zoom call at work, finishing the Zoom call at home. A couple of significant others we made visits and said hello. It was just a friggin' blast. We got to put faces to some names that we've never seen before. And my goodness, some of these faces did not match what you thought they were going to be. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. The conversation was fucking hilarious. Some of you guys were getting high. Some of you guys were getting drunk. Some of you guys were getting silly. And we had a fucking blast. That thing went on for hours. And it was so much fun that we can't wait to do it again soon. And the funny part was, at one point we had me and Tom from the Boston area. We had somebody from the South.
Yep.
We had somebody from England. We had somebody from Australia. Mm-hmm. And nobody could understand anything anybody was fucking saying.
You had every accent in the book. It was friggin' hysterical trying to have people talk.
I couldn't. I'm like, huh? What the fuck? But it was so much fun. We loved it. And those Demon Tier people, you guys are the best.
Yep.
Along with everybody at Patreon. We got a couple new things coming up for in the future for Patreon. But right now, it's the album review crew pick. And guys, if anybody's interested in Patreon, again, you can find the information right on the app. You can go to our website, and you can click on Patreon there and find out if you're interested. Let us know. And Tom, what we do next is we go to Kiss World. What's going on there?
All right. So one of the big things that everybody was talking about, it got picked up on Blabbermouth. Our buddy Eddie Trunk was talking about it, was Gene's tweet regarding Ace Frehley jumping in on the tour. This was pretty interesting. So it was Ace Frehley's birthday. It was on Wednesday, April 27th. And Gene tweeted out a happy birthday to Ace. And he said, the invitation still stands. Jump up on stage with us for encores. The fans would love it. Now, I don't know. I have a feeling that Paul Stanley probably pulled Gene into the office and said, what the fuck are you doing? I didn't give you permission to invite him on stage. That's ridiculous. Of course, all the conspiracy theories go about Eddie Trunk was saying, yeah, hilarious how Gene says that and thinks he's just going to hop up on stage for an encore, blah, blah, blah. People getting excited. Oh, my God, is it going to happen? Look, I love Gene. Gene's got a huge heart. He loves Ace. He probably wants him on. Gene was being emotional and probably wasn't thinking logistics. I don't know. What do you think of what Gene said? That's my opinion of it.
Yeah, I think that Gene was throwing it out there because he believes any press is good press. Let's get some press.
Good point.
Hey, maybe people are stupid enough to think Ace is just going to jump up there and go. Yeah, I know. Fucking Eddie Trunk is just, I know he's like, oh, how do you think this is going to happen? You don't think he's going to have a contract? You don't think, I know. You also don't think that Kiss needs to make sure that this guy can fucking do it too? It goes both ways, buddy. But I think it's a good thing that he threw it out there. I like how he was specific and said encores, so that if they do come on and something does work, it's for come on and do some encores with us.
Yep. All right. Another thing that kind of popped up in the news was Peter Criss making a special guest appearance the week before Creatures Fest. This is going to be at the Cutting Room in New York City. He's going to be a special guest with this band called the Sisters Doll or Sisters Doll.
Who backed him up on his last kind of outing that he was doing.
That's correct. Yes. Yep. They're an Australian band, kind of, they kind of wear costumes and some makeup kind of. I've never heard of them. I don't know much about them, but there's some relationship there with Peter. So that's interesting that Peter's going to make an appearance before Creatures Fest. New York City, the Cutting Room. You could check that out. You could just Google that and you'll find the information about that. A couple other things. Cynthia Plaster Caster passed away. Rest in peace. She passed away last week. And I thought that was interesting because I'm sure her family is really proud because every picture of her had her with a big dick in her hand. So it's like, rest in peace, Cynthia Plaster Caster, big giant, like 6 foot dick in her hand.
What is this in the news about grandma?
Grandma? I thought she was, what? Why is she? Mom? Yeah. Grandma has a giant peepee in her hand.
And one in her ass.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah. She's the inspiration. One of my favorite Kiss songs.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. And then there was a video going around on Twitter. It was Gene backstage with his son's girlfriend. And it looked like he was just really being inappropriate with it. He just can't keep his hands.
It was appropriate.
Oh, my God. Dude, that's your son's girlfriend. Get your hands off of her. Stop.
You can act like a man.
Oh, God, most definitely. And then our good friend, Paul Stanley, having to get into the trending topic of Elon Musk buying Twitter. And, of course, parroting what everybody said about $45 billion you could have cured cancer or ended world hunger. He jumps in and says that. And, of course, the Kiss tards were like, yeah, Paul. Other people like, Paul, shut up. It's not your business. It's not your money.
I think even Superfan wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, you're right. But again, Zeus, you say it all the time. He knows that is the number one trending story on Twitter. How can I get myself into that somehow?
Yeah.
Yep.
He likes to insert himself into topics of the day.
Yep.
Oh, Paul Stanley of Kiss weighed in.
Paul Stanley of Kiss disagrees with Elon Musk.
It's not artist Paul Stanley.
No.
It's not Soul Station frontman. It's Kiss.
Yep.
So, figure it out, Paul.
Yep.
Paul Stanley.
And and they continue their tour in South America playing the exact same songs. So
yes.
That's about it. Yep.
Yeah, same song, same set list.
Pretty much the exact same thing. Just close your eyes and imagine the show that you saw in friggin' Boise, Idaho 3 years ago. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against Boise, Idaho. I made a joke about some city before and somebody got mad at me. So
yeah, and it's like, there was that one little bit of hope that someone's like, what about this thing online I saw about March Madness tournament about songs we should play on the end of the road?
Oh yeah.
Well, who wants this? The fans have been asking for it. Fuck them.
Fuck them. Let's play Say Yeah again. Literally nobody wants to hear. Now, I will say I like that song more than you. I do
like
not.
It. What are you talking about? I like it. I think I like it more than you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you just don't want to hear them play it.
I just think they do Modern Day Delilah. Play a different song. I've heard this one. Anybody that's seen Kiss that hasn't seen them in the last 4 years is not a big enough fan. So play another song from them.
Yeah.
Everybody's heard it.
I think you're right. It's kind of like what you say about Psycho Circus. I think he's trying to turn Say Yeah into a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he is. It's his song.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyways, that's what's going on in the world of Kiss.
Wow. Well, well, I'm going to go take a second COVID test right now because I think I'm fucking bleeding from out of his ass.
All right, I'm back. I just had a Cynthia Plaster Caster's extended family just take a plaster caster of me. So we'll see what happens with that.
Ooh. Can we
use it as a paperweight on my desk at work?
Can we do a top 10 chicks you'd want to do a plaster caster of yourself?
You mean just be the 10 hottest chicks?
So name me one on your list?
That's easy. Everybody knows what my number one is.
All right, give me. All right, so Britney, right?
Of course, of course.
Tom, why is there a sculpted penis on your desk? Oh, because
you're not going to believe this story.
Yeah. So you said he could make it happen, and Britney came by the office and jerked me hard and got me a plastic cast.
I would probably make a deal with the devil to cut 10 years off my life if I could make that happen.
I don't even know what to say about that. Dude, you sure your wife doesn't listen to this, right?
She doesn't listen, but she knows. I'd say this in front of her. She knows. She knows.
I would probably say I would go back in time
to
the 60s.
And have Ava Gardner do it while she's taking a shit on the hotel floor.
Ava Gardner taking a shit while she's jerking me off.
She's doing the thing.
It's not working, honey. You got to get hard. Honey,
not working. Maybe if you finish wiping, we might get more success.
Honey, I can't get hard. I don't know what you ate. It smells like a fucking mule just took a shit. Oh, sorry, dear. It was a meatloaf grinder.
Oh, I didn't know it was your turn.
Oh, my God. No.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think I would go back to the 60s and I would take Catwoman. Batman's in her prime in that suit. And I'd be holding, grabbing her ass the whole time, holding it, just being like,
what the hell's her name? What's her real name again?
Julie Newmar.
That's it. Yes.
Dude, I see her walking around
with the Catwoman coat.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one.
I see her walking around now. It's like an 80-year-old woman who's still in tip-top shape. She looks like someone's grandmother, but her body's like, man, would I? I don't know.
That's how old we're getting. We're thinking that like an 80-year-old Julie Newmar is like, maybe.
I don't know. Man, I can close my eyes and smells like diapers and old farts.
Ava Gardner must be around.
Dropping deuces all over town.
What's the matter with us?
I don't know.
My goodness.
Anyway, Tom, we're back onto one of our series, and we love these series that we do. And this one is a continuation of album tracks. So we're up to number 4. And because May the 4th is coming up, Tom. Wow.
Perfect timing. Let's do the 4th song on studio albums in honor of May the 4th be with you, because we love Kiss, we love Star Wars, and they're the two bitchiest fan bases out there. Yes. So what's better than that? And
is there a bigger Kiss Star Wars nerd than Joey Casada?
Oh, he's the perfect combination of the two worlds colliding.
Shit, we should have had him on for this. Huh?
I know. That's
fuck him.
Speaking of that, we were on his show.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Fantastic. You guys check that out. We shared it on our social media, top 5 worst Kiss songs, and there were no duplicates. So it was 15 different songs. We had a great time with that.
Yeah, I think everybody hates me. I had the unique songs. Everyone's like, dude, those songs aren't bad. I just it's amazing.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's amazing the different styles that people have, because I saw people chiming in with their picks. I'm like, I love all 5 of those songs you just picked.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
It's just certain things move you and certain things don't. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Me too.
And
we love Joey.
This coming up, this list may have been on that fucking list too. This is a tough one, Tom.
Yeah, because the 4th spot on these studio albums, it's sometimes where songs go to die. I mean, there are personally speaking, there are some songs I legitimately love that fall into the 4th spot, but this is a weird. In baseball, you put your cleanup hitter at 4. Kiss didn't do that with their albums. I can tell you that.
No. And what we do, guys, is we rank our favorite of the songs number 4. Technically, there are 24. Yes, we include the solo albums.
Yes.
No, we do not include
box set discs,
box set killers, like double platinum, smashes, and all that shit. And a Kiss Alive 2. We only do the studio albums plus the solo albums.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is each do a top 10 list. And Tom, do you want to start or do you want me to?
Why don't you kick it off?
All right. So I'm going to go, and this is my list. And honestly, this was difficult. I'll be honest.
It sounds like I may have liked the list more than you.
Yeah, this is difficult. And I'm ranking wise, this was tough.
Okay.
So, with number 10, I'm going to this off of Animalize, Get All You Can Take.
Okay.
Because what fucking difference does it make?
Oh, jeez.
I've always liked the song. It's a pretty good, fun song. It's heavy Kiss when they try to be like a heavier sound.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, he doesn't have much competition. So that's where I'm going.
Definitely sounds like I'm a bigger fan of this roster of songs than you. So yeah, I mean, the top of my list, I'm a huge fan of. The bottom half of my list, there's songs I don't mind, like this one, my number 10, off of Asylum. That is Trial by Fire. Lyrically, corny as shit. Yes, but it's a cool Gene 80s song. I like it. We've talked about it when we reviewed Asylum. We talk about how underrated some of Gene's stuff is. You know, the pickings were kind of slim to make a list out of 10, but this is a song that I don't mind.
Yeah, Trial by Fire is a decent song. It's another one of those Waterboy. You can do it, Waterboy. Yep. And this one has our buddy Bruce with the songwriting credit. And I think he talked about it on episode 100 when we were going through these albums, going through his draft of Bruce Kulick songs. I think he went into a little bit of detail about Trial by Fire. I like the song. It's decent.
Yeah.
There's no passion whatsoever one way or the other. I think it's decent. That's all.
That's it. That's why it's my number 10.
Yep. Yeah. Number 9, Tom. Number 9 is this. Pissing the Ace Cult off. Shock Me.
At number 9, you just talked about how this roster of songs is not great, and that's 9.
Never a big fan of the song.
Wow.
I can't. I like it. The solo makes me love that part of it.
Yep.
But I can't get into put on your black leather. Like the chorus is stupid. I like Ace's, his vocal delivery is not bad. And the come on and the guitar picks up. Oh my God, that solo is awesome. It's Kiss. It's as of this moment, I got a lot of fatigue with the song.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think even for me, I think maybe it might be a little bit overrated just because that solo is so outstanding that you kind of forget how dumb the song is.
Yeah, as far as songs go, the solo and the fact that it was the first and the fact that Paul announces it on a live 2 gives it a lot. I think Rocket Ride is much better than this. And I think he's got some other better songs on Dynasty. But there's some legendary status with this, and along with it comes fatigue.
Yeah,
at least for
agreed.
me.
Yeah, no, I got you. I hear you. Number 9 comes off Zeus's favorite album. Here we go. One of the few songs off of Unmasked that I think most fans can kind of tolerate or even really like, and that is Naked City. A Gene track. I've always been a big fan of this. On record, we did review Unmasked. I love Unmasked. Zeus absolutely fucking hates it.
That's not true.
It is your least ranked Kiss album that we've reviewed.
Is it? No,
I believe Monster, whatever, same thing.
Yeah, but it's a Kiss album, so it's better than fucking 99% of Sonny Pooney albums.
Well, of course, he ranked Use Your Illusion 2 dead last on our latest ARC episode, which is insane.
His selections are Heat, Bad English, Poison, and what's the other one?
Hailstorm, which we like. Which
I actually like that. And Winger.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like literally Stewart from Beavis Butthead. If he was, and we love Pooney. Don't get us wrong, but we have to get our shots in when we can.
Yeah.
So Naked City. There we go.
Yeah, Naked City is a great song, Tom. I'm surprised you have it that low.
Well, yeah.
Number 8 for me. Fatigue All Around. Cold Gin.
This made your list. My goodness.
Oh, so you're surprised I even had it?
Yes. Because
have you seen the selection that I could? The selection was invited.
I was just going to say, there's 24 songs. I'm shocked that you had Cold Gin on there. I mean, I know it's a classic.
We'll go through the list and see what my selection was.
Of course.
Cold Gin is still a classic. It still kicks ass when you hear it. You got to be in the mood for it. There are times like, Cold Gin, fucking fast forward. Yeah. And there are other times like, you know what? Fuck yeah. I
was in the car the other day with my son, and we had the Boneyard on. Yeah, we were drinking Cold Gin. Boneyard came on was on satellite radio, and they played Cold Gin. Even Michael, he's only 18, he's like, song's overplayed. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Almost human. That song's overplayed in this household.
Oh, I love that song. My goodness. I can't wait. Whatever track number that is, I can't wait till we get to that.
8 for you.
Number 8 comes off an album that everybody loves, except for me. But I do like this song a lot. And here we go. Off of Creatures, it's Rock and Roll Hell, one of my favorite tracks off that album. Very deep cut, but it's got Gene doing some pretty cool things vocally. Always been a big fan of that song. Always. Yeah, but you love that album and I don't. So I guess that's why one of the things we differ on.
That's the Bryan Adams song.
Yes. Yep.
Written. And I still have it here on my desktop. I'm looking at it because I had downloaded it from YouTube. Fucking pissed I said that. Now I gotta fucking edit it in. Fucking A. Rock and Roll Hell from BTO, your favorite band.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking love that version.
What a horrific band.
They got 3 good songs I know of now. That You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet.
They have no good songs.
Baby. And what's the other one? The big popular song?
Taking Care of Business.
The Elvis theme. Taking Care of Business.
Dude, it's so bad. Oh, that's so bad.
But their version of Rock and Roll Hell, because the lyrics are all about rock and roll lifestyle, drugs, alcohol, booze, and being a fucking shitbag. A lot different than Gene's, I don't know, hellscape, underworld, Rock and Roll Hell.
Yep.
I just like it. I just love those good depictions of being a fucking degenerate on the road.
Yeah, because when I think of rock and roll degenerates, I think of Bachman Turner Overdrive and their piggish lifestyle as rock stars.
Have you seen the video? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Never in my life. No.
It looks like a bunch of Wookiees playing. It's fucking insane. Hilarious.
That's like friggin' ELO, another terrible band. Jeff Lynne. He looks like Chewbacca, for God's sakes.
Don't bring me down.
Oh, terrible,
down,
man.
Down. And then the 2 keyboard guys in the background switching up in the back.
2 of the worst bands to come out of the 70s.
That song. I love that song.
Brutal.
Don't bring me down.
Evil Woman. Oh.
I don't. I'm talking about Don't Bring Me Down.
I know.
Mr. Blue Sky.
Ugh. By the way, I know Murphs listen. The only evil woman we talk about is that fantastic 5-star porno with Sandra Scream.
Ooh.
God.
God damn.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, shit. God, like that. Oh, shit. Yes.
What do you got?
Number 7. All right. Number 7. I'm going to go with this. Off of the solo album, Paul Stanley's, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me?
I am blown away right now because you're telling me how bad this list is, but you have that at 7. I'm nervous to see what the hell you have number 1.
You know me. I always like to kind of emphasize something I've been kind of getting into and listening more.
Yeah.
And the fatigue stuff goes towards the bottom of the list.
I got you. All right. Number 7 for me, the Catman makes an appearance on the list. Off of Dynasty, I'm going with Dirty Livin'. Yeah.
Dirty Sanchez.
Exactly. Love the Catman on this. Love Dynasty. Haven't reviewed it yet, so I don't want to say too much about this song or the album.
Song's great.
Yes.
You have a good one there, Tom.
Indeed.
Well, we're going to stay there, Tom, because we're going to this. No, that wasn't the same song. That was from his solo album. Baby, don't you let me down. Don't you let me down. It's like Melvin Franklin from the Temptations in that last part. Don't you let me down.
Great song. We haven't reviewed that album either, but
Don't You Let Me Down by Peter Criss solo. I like it. It's again not a Kiss song, but it's an interesting song. And when it comes on, I play it and I listen to it.
Me too. Let's go for the Catman trifecta with a 3rd straight Catman selection.
Woo!
Here we go. One of the most unbelievable songs if you wanted to showcase what Peter Criss can do on the drums. That is Getaway off of Dress to Kill. The song itself, pretty good song, but what Peter's doing on the drums in general on Dress to Kill and specifically on Getaway, fucking phenomenal. I've always been a big fan of this song.
Wow.
Yes. Catman, baby.
Yeah. Okay, number 5 to me is this. That's right. Off one of your least favorite albums, Only You.
Oh, my God almighty. The fact that you have this ranked higher than Wouldn't You Like to Know Me is absurd.
I love this song. It's a good song. I like the back and forth until Paul takes over a little bit, but I like Gene's. It's like din 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 din. It's like
the Gene part's cool when Paul jumps in and steals the mic.
Yeah,
I can't believe this is true or real. I don't even know the fucking
some New York guy walks off the subway in the middle of the song. I can't believe this is true.
Oh my God. Wow. All right. Well, I'm going to go. My number 5 might be a little bit of a curveball here. Here we go. That's right. Most definitely. Spit, baby. Because it's revenge and I love it. And it's Gene, revenge. It's always going to get my seal of approval. Love Spit. The song is totally ridiculous. Another song, Paul jumping and stealing the mic with ridiculous lyrics. Love it.
Yeah, it is. It's a decent song. Again, fucking back and forth.
Yep.
Songs get bonus points for that.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Yep. Agreed.
All right. So, number 4 to me, Tom. Boom. Duplicate.
Oh.
Dirty Living.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Great song.
That's our first one. Yeah, that's our first duplicate.
Yep.
All right, here. My top 4 was, this was kind of easy for me. So number 4, kind of a classic. I prefer the live version a little bit better, but I do like both. So here we go. Off of Rock and Roll Over and Alive 2, Ladies Room.
And you
love this song. I'm shocked it advanced as far as it did in our March Madness tournament. I don't think it really deserved to do that. But I love the song and especially that live version. It played a little bit faster. Rock and Roll version, a little bit slower, but both of them are great. Always love this Gene tune.
It's a fun song.
Yes. Yep.
Speaking of fun, my number 3, Tom. My number 3, you definitely don't have. Hit it. Din, 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 din. I like it.
I knew this was.
Din, din, din,
I actually thought this.
Yeah! Din, 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 din. I love Back to the Stone Age. I think
it's not bad.
Fucking Gene at his over the top, indulgent, like just stupid shit. I fucking love it. I think it's catchy as all hell.
It's not bad for a pretty shitty album. This is kind of a standout track.
Din, 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 din,
I agree.
Din, din, din. I like it.
It's a good one. Yep. Number 3 for me is a duplicate. Again, kind of like Ladies Room. I love the studio version and the live version, and that is Shock Me at number 3 for me.
All right. Tom,
All
2. Tom, number 2 for me is a duplicate. I have Ladies Room at number 2.
Oh, wow. You had it higher than me.
I love that version on both Rock and Roll Over, and I love that version on Alive too. I think it's a lot of fun. Meet me in the ladies' room.
Yes. Love it.
Every
awesome.
time it's the same.
Yep. Number 2 for me, also a duplicate. That is Wouldn't You Like to Know Me?
I would. Wow.
Yes.
All right, Tom.
I'm anxious to see. It looks like we're going to have 2 number 1s because you ain't having mine as your number 1.
No. Number 1 is a duplicate.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Number 1. And I think this one stood out for me the most as, this is number 1. Naked City. Not even close.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's a great song by Gene. Great.
Interesting. Okay. I knew you liked that. I didn't think you liked it that much. Wow. Number 1 for me was easy. When I saw this list, when I compiled the list of the song, I was like, yes, I'm glad this is a number 4 track because it's probably my favorite track off the album. The studio version is great. The live version, which you can hear and see on video with different vocals, is this. Yes. Gene absolutely ripping it up on the album, and Eric Carr ripping it up in concert. That's Young and Wasted. Absolutely love this song. Such an borderline metal hard rock track for Kiss on Lick It Up. Love it. This is an easy number 1 for me. And Zeus is making a face right here, which I can't believe it.
I get it. I know you like the song. I didn't think you'd have it number 1.
Love it.
I thought you definitely would go Shock Me. Really.
Shock Me fell at number 3 for me. But again, it's when you're making these lists, it's always like the mood that you're in.
Yeah.
Fatigue. It's weird, because tomorrow I could be like, wow, I can't believe I had Shock Me number 3. But yeah, I love Young and Wasted. And again, it's a song you never hear. It's not really available anywhere except Look It Up,
And Animalize Live.
That's right. Yep. Yep.
Tom, I like to give a couple honorable mentions. I'll give two. Is that okay?
I got a few also. Yep.
Yeah. So I would say Hotter Than Hell.
Ew.
One of the versions. Sometimes I really like it, whether it's live or regular.
The live version is awesome.
Number 2, Tunnel of Love.
I'm not going to argue with that. It's a pretty fun song.
Because that guitar solo is awesome. Right?
It's a pretty fun song. Yep.
I like that solo a lot.
Yeah. So my honorable mentions are Into the Void off of Psycho Circus, just because it's an Ace song. It's a standout track on a kind of a crappy album. You look like you're going to say something about that song.
No. I was going to say crappy album. You fucking hate that album.
The thing about that album is the songs that are good, I absolutely love. And the rest of the song is complete trash. It's the most up and down album probably in their entire catalog. Because as bad as Monster is, there's nothing I love on Monster. There's a few songs I barely like. And then my other honorable mention is actually Back to the Stone Age. I think it's a really fun song. It's off of Monster,
nice.
which is a crap album, but that's a standout track. It's fun, stupid Gene Demon. So I like that, Back to the Stone Age. Yep.
Yeah, that's a fun song. So I was interested in this list, Tom. I think this is by far the worst list of songs from song 1, 2, 3, and 4. The 4s are the worst. So let's go down the list. Okay. So from the first debut album, you're going Cold Gin, Hotter Than Hell, Getaway, Great Expectation, Ladies Room, Shock Me, Don't You Let Me Down, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me, Tunnel of Love, Ozone, Dirty Living, Naked City, Only You, Rock and Roll Hell, Young and Wasted, Get All You Can Take, Trial by Fire, No, 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 Prisoner of Love, Spit, Childhood's End, Into the Void, Yes, I Know, Nobody's Perfect, and Back to the Stone Ages. 24 songs. Does something immediately stand out for you?
So what stood out for me, actually, when I was putting this list together, I was like, wow, like this is a list that like people like us, like diehard Kiss fans, this is not, I mean, this is all deep cuts except for Cold Gin and Hotter Than Hell. It made me shock me. The rest of this is like, holy shit. Like that's like I said, it's like the place where like songs go to die.
You know why? I mean? Do you know why? And you know what sticks out?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I know. I think I know what you're going to say.
24 songs. Paul is only on 2 fucking songs, Hotter Than Hell and Get All You Can Take.
Right.
So that means that number 4 is usually not going to be a single or their best hit song. It's where other people put their songs on. And if you look at it, there's not really a single in here at all.
No. And of course, we're not talking about Paul's solo album because everything on Paul's solo album is Paul's music. Yeah. So we're talking
none of the solo albums. I'm talking about
the studio tracks. Right.
With the exception of Shock Me in Cold Gin and Hotter Than Hell from the beginning albums, nothing really is there is a single. The
only thing I can think of for this too, that's an excellent observation too, by the way. Out of 24 songs, only 2 of them are, well, with the exception of the Paul solo album, is that most of these, with the exception of like, Monster and Psycho Circus and Sonic Boom, whatever, a lot of this came out in the cassette and vinyl era.
Yeah.
And the 4th track is at the end of side 1.
Or it's the second to last.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's usually because a lot of their albums have 10 or so songs. So the 4th song is going to be near the end of side 1 of the cassette or side 1 of the vinyl. So it's where the term deep cut comes from. If you listen to it's because it comes from the vinyl where it's a deep cut because it's deep on the record or deep on the cassette. So I think that's why a lot of these are buried in there like that.
Yeah, it's just none of them are really singles.
No.
The only thing I can look at is Hotter Than Hell, Cold Gin. And I don't know, Naked City a little.
I mean, Shock Me is a standout. But that became a standout because of Alive too, pretty much.
Yeah, and Ladies Room, same thing. But
I mean, you look at an album that we love. We love Hot in the Shade. You hate Prisoner of Love. I think it's a fun song. That's the 4th song out of 15.
That song sucks. It just sucks. I mean, Yes, I Know, Nobody's Perfect. Great Expectations.
Yeah.
I mean, no. These songs are not what you would call fucking favorites.
No, it was so interesting because it stood out. It was so obviously bad. And when I mean bad, I mean, we've done 1, 2, and 3. Obviously, this is 4. When I was putting this list together, I said the same thing. I was like, yikes, you have to be a real friggin' Kiss tard. Now, do we like these songs? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are there songs here that I'm going to skip? Probably not that many because I like them. They're deep cuts of songs you don't hear a lot, which is why we do this. And another reason why we do this, we say this all the time. Every time we do like a kind of a weird top 10 or something like this, I love these kinds of episodes because it's back to basics, talking about the music in the band. Okay, we're not talking about Paul Stanley being an idiot on a radio interview, which we love doing that. But this is back to basics, talking music. And we're talking music in the context of every album. It's not an album review. So we're talking about Unmasked and Hotter Than Hell and Revenge all at once. I love it. But this list, I'm not saying I wouldn't make, would I make a playlist out of these? Yeah. I don't know how much I'd like it, but
especially going in from the 80s and stuff, Tom. Rock and Roll Hell, Young and Wasted, Get All You Can Take, Trial by Fire, No, Prisoner of Love, Spit, Childhood's End, Into the Void, Yes I Know, Nobody's Perfect, Back to the Stone Age. I don't know if you could name 50 songs, anybody would take this as a top 50 songs from that era. Just that era that I started with Rock and Roll Hell. I don't know if any of those songs would be a top 50 song.
That's a great point. 24
Any
songs. You split this list in half. The first 12 from the debut album up to Unmasked. That bottom 12, those bottom 12 songs, again, you got to be a diehard. I mean, like you said, Trial by Fire, No, Prisoner of Love, Spit, and Childhood's End. Again, do I like them? Yes, but yikes.
Yes, I know. Like I'm telling you, you
Yeah.
said song 1 through 50, took all the songs from that era and everybody ranked them. No, I don't like any of these songs are making the top 50.
No, I agree. But again, there are people that love Spit. There are people that love No, and Prisoner of Love and Into the Void and all this stuff. I mean, I'm going to be interested to see what people think of this, what their top 10 would be, or their top 5, you know.
And what I was going to say is, do we do a poll based on Kiss Tards or do we do ours? Because if we're doing a Kiss Tard poll, you know what it's going to be. I can tell you 3 are right off the top. Cold Gin, Hotter Than Hell, Shock Me.
No, we're not doing. No, that's not going to be part of the poll.
Right? Because that's exactly what they're going to be. And then maybe Ladies Room as the 4th.
Well, our top 2 each would, if that could be the poll right there. Naked City, Ladies Room, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me, Young and Wasted. Those are our top 4.
Yeah.
It's a good mix because you have classic Rock and Roll Over, Unmasked, Paul Solo, Lick It Up era.
I think that's a good pick. Like, again, do we need another 500,000 fucking polls every fucking day?
No.
Hey, do you like Kiss? Here's a poll.
Right. Yeah.
So episode related song number 4 on Kiss albums. Let's go with that one, Tom.
Yep. I agree. Yep.
All right, buddy. What we do next is we go to question of the week.
And our question of the week is sponsored by a company where our good friend, listener, and Patreon member, Joe Decker, is involved with, and that is Fusion Tech. This week's question of the week is brought to you by Fusion Tech Data and Electric. Fusion Tech is a recognized communications contractor specializing in the construction, splicing, testing, and documentation of all types of fiber optic networks. Along with that, Fusion Tech Electric can service all of your electrical construction needs, commercial, industrial, and utility, as well as electrical substation work and all UPS and DC power plant installation. Fusion Tech currently operates throughout the 5 boroughs of New York City, as well as New Jersey and the tri-state area, providing union labor with IBEW Local 3 in New York City and IBEW Local 164 and Local 102 in New Jersey. For more information about Fusion Tech, visit their website at fusiontech-llc.com or call them at 973-650-1357.
Yeah, Fusion Tech. What do we got?
Our question of the week comes from another Patreon, our good friend Mike H.
Woo!
And the question is kind of tongue-in-cheek, but I think it brings up kind of an interesting kind of discussion that you could have. Do you think that in 20 years or more, old folks' homes, or whatever they're called, will have Kiss cover bands performing in the main dining area after the 4:00 dinner. Now, the question itself, yes, he's joking, but I think the context of it is when me and you are old and friggin' if we're living in a retirement home or something, are people going to be like listening to, like, is Kiss going to be a thing?
Yes, because I was in, I forget where it was. Oh, when Natalia had her music performancing at that old folks home, there was music being played there that was like rock music, normal. I think it was like a Lenny Kravitz song in there. The other day I was at somewhere at the courthouse, and I think it was, I don't know what room I was in, and they were playing Interstate Love Song.
Okay.
STP.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you think they're going to be still playing Glenn Miller in old folks' homes in 30 years? No one even knows them by then.
Right. And that's the point. I think everybody's view of an old folks home is what you see in TV and movies, where it's just that the classical Lawrence Welk big band Glenn Miller stuff. But you're right. I mean, are they going to be playing friggin' Unholy over the loudspeakers in Shady Pines retirement home? Probably not. But I think you're right. I think this genre of music, now, whether or not are they specifically going to have Kiss cover bands? Shit, I hope so if I'm ever living in a retirement home, Yeah, I think that they could. I think people would get a kick out of it. And, they're going to do a Kiss cover band. They'll do Rock and Roll Night, but they're not going to do fucking Let's Hit the Highway doing 69 in an old folks home. They might. Some of those old folks, they're popping those Viagra up like crazy. They might be just banging each other. Jesus. Dropping deuces and shit. Well, they're doing that anyways, yeah. But anyways, Mike H., we love you, buddy. Great meeting you and chatting with you on our Zoom call. And thank you for the question of the week. Love it. And thanks, Joe Decker. And Fusion Tech. Absolutely. Tom, where can people find us? Check out our awesome new website, please. That's your one-stop shopping for all things Shout It Out Loudcast. It is shoutoutloudcast.com. You can check out all of our episodes, all of our rankings, everything. It's there. You can communicate with us through there. You can contact us directly, and it goes to our email, which, speaking of, is shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Please email us. We read them all. Sometimes we respond to the emails in writing, or we respond to them when we read them on the show, but we do not ignore your emails. Please know that. So please continue to reach out to us, comments, questions, feedback, everything. And of course, our social media. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're on all of them. We love the interaction. You guys tagging us in pictures if you go into a concert, or if you pick up some cool piece of Kiss-tarred merch, or if you find something in your friggin' attic. Our buddy Scott Rifen on Twitter was finding a bunch of old shit and taking pictures and tagging us. We love that kind of stuff. It's fun. So please do that. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, our wonderful Patreon family. You guys are the best. And our newest Patreon, Vidal Demon Tier. Thank you, buddy, so much. And everybody else, get those ARC picks in if you haven't yet. The poll's going to be put out soon, so we can find out what we're doing for the month of May. So please do that. And if you want to be part of that, join our Patreon. You can go to the website or download the app and search for us. And of course, we're part of the wonderful Pantheon podcast network of shows, and check them out. Tons of our friends are on there. Look for us if you want more information. We're there. And if you're looking for some kick-ass Shout It Out Loudcast gear, including one of those awesome t-shirts, go to our website, click on the merch link right there. Boom. You can get yourself a nice shirt. Yeah, the merch is right there, right on the awesome new website, which I love to promote because the thing kicks ass. Don't forget to use our Amazon part of it too. That's right. Yep. On our website, we have rankings, we have episodes, we have everything you can imagine about Shout It Out Loudcast. We have even photos of our handsome friends and their podcast. Go to our website, check it out, and let us know what you think. We really appreciate it. In addition to that, we always ask that you give us DMs on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or send us something from the website. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's number 3 for us, Tom. So I'm happy I get to do that again. YouTube is really taking off. We get a lot of comments now and a lot of people watching. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, whether you listen to us on podcasts or YouTube, either way. And then please give us one of those 5-star child reviews. People can give us those on places like, obviously, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, podchaser.com, Good Pods,
Anywhere you can leave a review, give us a 5-star review. We really appreciate it. Helps us move us up the food chain and get out to the masses. It's a big help to us. And I always like to repeat the email, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. And Tom, before we do famous last words, I do once again want to thank all our Shout It Out Loudcasters out there and our family that has made this an amazing week despite my COVID here. The feedback on the Paul Stanley versus Radio Chick has been out of this world. Actually, the feedback's only a day old, and the Guns N' Roses ARC episode has been amazing. Mm-hmm. And just overall, you guys have, just from having the Pantheon Demon Tier social beer drink that we did the other night, seeing Buddy Casada the other day, it's hanging out with Tom and going to see fucking Jerry Cantrell, going up and seeing our buddy Jericho and Fozzy and recording with him and PJ, who I saw for the second time in a row. It couldn't be any nicer. It's just been a lot lately, and we really just want to make sure you guys understand how much we appreciate all that you do for us, and we really can't be doing this without you. It's a family, and it's you guys that are putting us to any place that we go to. It's because of you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. The month of April has been off the rails with kind of excitement and activity. There's more to come, and we can't thank you guys enough. Again, we say this all the time. The show exists because of you. I mean, yeah, we love doing the show. We have a ton of fun doing it. But, you guys are keeping it going with your comments, your retweets, your sharing, your emails, all this kind of stuff. You guys are part of it. And we can't stress that enough. You are part of the show.
The other part is that we're so exhausted. It's because you'll see, and we'll try to let you guys know, we're going to be on a bunch of more podcasts, helping out, jumping in and doing stuff. And we'll let you know when we release them. We were just on Joey's Top 5 with Joey Casada, where we talked about 5 worst Kiss songs. Find that online. And you'll see us around. We'll let you guys know. It's just been a lot.
That's why Zeus has COVID now.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Well, Tom, you got any famous last words for us?
Of course. You've been branded by the iron. You've been cut by the knife. There's a monkey on your back running up and down your spine. Up and down your spine.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Get down. Fool around. Think of all the dues you're paying. Oh, yeah. Stand your ground. Wise up. Can't you hear me saying? You gotta get all you can take.
That's a big meh song for me. I'm sorry, but that's okay. It's okay.
Tom, thank you. Loudcasters. We can't thank you enough. Okay. Kiss Army. Thank you.
You guys are the best. Thank you, everybody. Loudcasters, Patreon, everybody. You guys rock. Zeus, as always. Thank you. And get well. Get healthy.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
I am not what you would call a handsome man. The good Lord chose not to bless me with charm, athletic ability, or a fully functional brain.